You can find a lot of active job seekers that way, we've found. And we're just going to do 15. So we'll see what comes back here. So this is about people that are talking about marketing in Vancouver. Attention marketing execs, CMS teams, Jim Hogan on Do the Right Thing PR tips for business. So a link out. Again, there's another one here, marketing execs. So there seems to be an event here that that they're promoting. We're here. Starbucks says you're doing guerrilla marketing for them. Can't those amazing frappuccinos sell themselves? Web 2.0 marketing. So these, again, this is all Vancouver based, right? So what I'm seeing here is a lot of individuals that typically what we're finding is individuals that are on here that are tweeting on certain topics are likely thought leaders, and we make the assumption that they're thought leaders in their space. So what you're able to do here very quickly is potentially connect with an enormous amount of people who are very much on the cutting edge, and you can also tap into their networks that way as well by following and making friends with them. So that's just a brief example of ways you can go use the advanced search function to find people on specific topics. And again, this really works for anything. You can be searching on interests. You know, for example, I'm going to go search on, let's say I've got a company that hires shoeaholics. So this is another way, maybe looking for people that love, I hate wearing shoes without socks. The rain is beautiful, my clothes and shoes not so much. If anyone that's not in Vancouver here today, we've got a horrible day out here today, so it's just pouring rain. You know, so if I was a marketer, for example, and this is a bit of more of a marketing approach, but for example, Yelp, time for new shoes. If I was a shoe company and listening to that conversation, this would be a great opportunity for me to go reply to that person and say, hey, my store has got a 20% sale going on this Saturday. And that leads me to my next point. What I want to speak to is the best definition of Twitter that the simplest way to understand it is, imagine you've got a magic phone. And that magic phone, anytime you pick up that magic phone, you've got the ability to listen to any conversation going on in the world. Now, this magic phone and Twitter is limited to Twitter users. But if you had the ability to pick up that magic phone and listen to any conversation that was going on anywhere in the world, and let's give an example. So say the shoe example is a great one. So I run a shoe store in downtown Vancouver. And I pick up my magic phone, and I'm looking for people who are tired of their old shoes, looking for new shoes, interested in any sales on new shoes. And I hear a conversation between John and Kelly. And John says, you know, Kelly, I really need to buy some new shoes for the wedding this weekend. And you know, Phil from the shoe store says, hey, you know, John, come on down. We've got a sale going on right now at 30% off on shoes. John says, great, I'll come down this afternoon. So where this differs from Google is this is, again, real-time search. So looking at conversations that are happening real-time and being able as a marketer to go influence those conversations. Now, from a recruiting perspective, it's the exact same thing. If you're looking for people with specific skill sets, this is the way to go do it. So you've got the magic phone and you're a recruiter, and you're going to listen to conversations potentially around really unique topics. So if I was looking for someone, maybe a VP of operations, for example, or a CFO, and I'm going to give you an example here in a second, and everyone's going to say, oh, CFOs aren't tweeting, but I'm going to show you that they actually are. What you're able to do is zero in on key interests, key topics, maybe people that you want to go target are attending a certain conference to find these individuals and connect with them. So that's where the opportunity exists, and I'm going to give some specific examples of that in a second here. Whoops. So, just back to the presentation here. I apologize. Okay, searching for candidates. I just showed you the Twitter search function. So that's an advanced search to go search on conversations, and that is the use of basically your magic phone to listen to interests or things that are going on real time. Now, there's another really interesting service that I want to talk to, and this is an application that's actually free, and it's called Twilio, or basically the yellow pages of Twitter. And what's unique about this site is it actually categorizes individuals based on what their profile is. So what I just showed you a second ago was to go search based on conversations, and now what Twilio does, and Twitter does not allow you to really go search on profiles so much, Whereas what these guys do is they in fact actually go and allow you, they pre-categorize people into different sections. So what you'll see is Twilio, and basically the Twitter Yellow Pages is what it is. Now what they've done is they've taken all the profiles on Twitter and they've categorized them into certain areas. So I go to the All Categories section. You can see this is a very, very powerful tool. So ad agencies, people that are related to ad agencies. I'm going to click on this. So this will pull up anyone that's got ad agency, that works for an ad agency, is talking about an ad agency, or so forth. And you can see there's 51 pages that come back from 20 results. So we're looking at 1,000 people that are in that high level, and companies that are in that high level ad agency category. That's one example. Now, let's say I was looking for an accountant. So anyone with accounting that's coming back, you can see, and this is a global search. You've got 369 pages times 20. So, you know, I want to narrow this down. So again, I'm looking for an accountant in Toronto. And you can see here this comes back with 80 people who are tagged or tagged themselves as accountants or accounting. So you can see Kurt Christian, hip-hop music lover, financial analyst, online marketer, investor, sun worshiper, and all brother with class. Marketing, let's see, CPA offers. You can see here now, again, this is just Toronto, and this is people that are mentioning accounting. So writer, trumpeter, accountant, computer consultant, financial services, United Church of Canada. I DJ, prepare Canadian tax returns. So what I want to show you here is basically there's a ton of content here when you go narrow it in. Going back to the all categories again, which is interesting, and speaking to the CFO level, as you can see as I scroll down, and you can see there's just tons of categories of people that are already there. And I'm going to go look for CFOs. And I'm going to look for CFOs. So you can see 12 times 20, so there's a good chunk of data that comes back. And you see this one's in Tampa Bay, Wall Street, Utah. I may want to zero in a little bit tighter on this, so I can type in keywords to really zero in on it. But for the most part, what I wanted to show you, this is a fantastic tool and free to basically go look for people. And what's great about it is, you know, the blonde accountant, never taken seriously by anyone until I show them where they screwed up. I'm going to follow blonde accountant. And now I'm following any of her tweets. So I'm able to go to see that. And it's fairly highly likely, you can see here, that with the followers and following and followers, that she's likely going to follow me back. So if I was focused on hiring a whole bunch of accountants consistently, maybe I've got an accounting firm, or I've got a very large accounting department with my organization, or I'm an accounting firm or accounting focused recruitment agency, I would likely, my recommendation would be to go set up a Twitter feed specifically to accounting information, put content on there, and go find people that are accountants and go follow them, because they'll likely follow you back. So I hope that provided a little bit of framework on that. The next one I want to show you is Tweetizen. And Tweetizen is a simple web-based tool designed to help you filter the daily influx of tweets and easily find the ones that are relevant to you. So what this is now I'm going to go look for grouping. So what I want to do is I want to go group, I'm just going to log in here so we can see this. So I'm going to go with all the different tweets and all the things that are going on. What this is, this is just a sample setup that we had built. We'll use these for multiple clients on how to go categorize tweets or things we want to follow. But you can see here, as I mentioned, so we're focused on retail, looking for anyone that's talking about recruiting, and accountant was another thing. So what Twilio does is Twilio actually categorizes profiles of people that have tagged themselves as accountants. What Tweetizen will do is actually, and you can very easily go create a group. So I can create a group, and let's say I want to follow, let's see here, I'm going to follow software. I'm going to type in software to start. And I'm going to tag a few things. I'm going to look for software. I'm going to look for development. I'm going to look for some languages of Java. and I'm going to look for Ruby on Rails. That's another software language. Whoops. Ruby. So you'll see here now it's popped up, and now what it's automatically doing is it's actually showing me every conversation that's going on around software on the Twitter, on Twitter basically. Accountant. So I'm going to follow all the conversations that are going on in accountant. I can categorize these groups. I can make as many as I want to go track these conversations, and then obviously set up alerts that are about this, right? So what's unique about this is there's certain groups and certain conversations that you want to go promote. You can actually embed it and put it in a website or put it into your blog or so forth if you're a little bit more recruiting savvy. So the next thing I want to show you here is job search. So what has been interesting about Twitter is there's been some applications that have been built specifically for job search. So I'm going to go to the